What's going on, creators? Yeah, I just want to get on here and bring everybody back to now. I appreciate you being here and vibing with me for a bit. Yeah, I just want to talk about taking tasks one thing at a time, and really what's presenting itself in the moment. And how important that is when you're running a business or creating jobs for other people or doing self-employment. Any of these types of things, especially if you're doing new things, a lot of times there can be some like resistance or some fear that needs to be kind of overcame through the doing. I know some people with like maybe the law of attraction, the law of assumption, or any of these types of like maybe manifesting types of vibes that you might hear on YouTube or in the New Thought or wherever you're hearing these things. As a lot has to do with your state of consciousness, which I'm not disagreeing with, but there's also an important aspect of learning while doing. And sometimes I feel like that might get overlooked because it's like, so much with the mindsets and the, renewing the mind and all of that, kind of gets you into the spiritual, but, we also exist in the physical, and we're doing things, we're moving things around, and, not really looking for the outer to bring the peace, joy, abundance, prosperity, all these types of things that, you're kind of creating as you're doing with a business. It's more so of, holding your peace now and really taking things as they come, getting out of the what ifs and the woulda, coulda, shouldas, with my business, for example, I just got paid $925, for a, flooring job. This is a checklist item if you're kind of a repeat viewing, it's like, so you kind of know the flow of what's going on, so it's like I got paid in full before even starting that job, which is nice because now I have kind of a cushion, where I can, hire some work done. I kind of been dealing with multiple things because I've been stacking a bunch of jobs, and hopefully, with the hope of having a team that I'm actively trying to recruit, start to help me get these things done, and having some cash lying around is really, really handy when it comes to paying others and motivating, kind of some incentives to help and everything. And it's funny, I was talking to like the lady at Work One, which is like the unemployment office, is like I tried to recruit some help, and basically that meeting went a lot longer than I thought yesterday, and and she ended up telling me, and I don't believe these are real problems. They're just things that are presenting themselves in the moment. And in the moment right now, it's like, oh, everybody's short-staffed, and it's hard to find quality people because of stimulus checks and COVID money, and all of these obstacles that are starting to present themselves, which I feel like is representing maybe a kind of an old mindset, for one, of like, oh, well, if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. And then there's this supporting evidence of like, oh, well, it's just as easy. I can just, keep doing what I'm doing. But, part of the growth factor is, taking the profits from my handyman business to finance a cafe in town locally. And so to do that, I need to do bigger jobs, and I need a crew to help me to knock some of these bigger things out, like a property flip or, something like that. Flipping a house is really kind of what my moving forward is. But like right now I got a checklist item, which I started today, because it's snowing. It was like 65 degrees. It's like springtime. I got flowers blooming outside and had to cover all these things up, but like, I was supposed to paint a building in town, but that got pushed back because of this weird cold spell, which has actually kind of worked out better for me personally because now I'm getting started on this checklist item. And so I'm starting with this flooring. I might start to update these streams, these Creator Corner streams, with maybe pictures of like the progress of some of these jobs, just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But I ripped out a bunch of carpet today in this room. I think it's 250 square feet. I think it's 20 foot long by 13 foot, something like that. I can't really remember off the top of my head, but like I gotta do that, and I gotta hang a door. I gotta change a toilet out and tear out a vanity, which might be a bigger task than I thought, because when I was at Lowe's picking up the flooring today, I find out this vanity is like 300 pounds and is going to have to go up a flight of steps. And so hopefully I can make sure to let the homeowner know that the people at Lowe's need to bring that up the flight of stairs and not me, because I don't know how I'll be able to haul 300 pounds by myself up these stairs. But like there was also some other guys that were doing some carpet laying upstairs, and I got to talking with them, and I have a feeling like the team is going to kind of present itself differently than what I'm expecting. So far I still only have one application put in. I haven't called that person back just because there's some red flags, and I don't feel that inner like feel goodness, about it, and I kind of gauge a lot of things by whether it feels good or not. And like, and so I'm kind of got some red flags with that. Still, still trying to, kind of gauge things. But then I really like, when I am around other people that are working, to ask them, if they know anybody that's looking for a job, or, tap some of their network, just like personal connection. Because I got an email, and maybe if you're unfamiliar with like temp agencies and stuff, I went to the Chamber of Commerce, and they gave me all these like resources to try to get some help. Work One was on there, and that's how I kind of got connected with them. And then they gave me a number to all the temp agencies in town. And some of those are just, I got one. I got a packet of stuff, and it was like, if you want us to direct hire, and it's kind of confusing how they do their billing. But if they would just find a direct hire and I didn't continuously pay them for like however long, it's like $3,000, for an employee. And it's like, I really think I can do better than that on my, just by doing. I just have a feeling it'll all come together anyway. But like, at the same time, as I was talking to one of the guys that was working at this job, he had expressed some interest of maybe picking up some work just on the weekends. And he was like there by himself. He was another guy that was like an assistant, but like he didn't own the business. He was just an employee that was working there. And if to me, it's like, well, you're here unsupervised and you're doing a good job, so there's no reason why I probably wouldn't trust you to go do some jobs for me. And so maybe we'll see if he ends up applying. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. But that on the other hand was kind of like, inwardly, you feel, it had like felt better than like the other applicant I got so far. But like moving in this new direction, it's just easy to almost get caught up in the mind. I was like laying in bed last night and being tempted to like start to worry as these things that now I'm in the process of like, it's not just an estimate, it's not just this, it's like I already got paid, now it's time to knock this shit out. And now it's like the real stuff, I guess, and then and dealing with others and like customers, and now we got about $1,000 worth of stuff to do. And the thoughts creep in of like, hopefully, starting to worry. It's like, I wonder if someone's going to help me, if I'm going to get some help, or if I'm going to have to do this by myself. And just real, because that's the alternative situation I'm in, where it's like, regardless of if I have help or not, I have to get this shit done. And so continuing on, but not getting overwhelmed. That's the other end of it, because it's easy then to start to spin out in the mind of like, okay, start making this checklist of like, what am I going to do tomorrow, and how am I going to plot and scheme to get this stuff done. And I've just known, just for myself, that is not a good strategy, because then you stay up all night worrying, trying to plot and scheme, and then when you get into actually doing, none of the shit that spent hours, possibly even impressing the subconscious mind, which could create some drama unconsciously. A lot of it doesn't ever play out that way in practice, and so when starting a new thing or whatever, it's just about, okay, what can I tangibly do now? What's the next step? And so, the first thing I ended up doing today was, getting into that flooring. And so I tore up the carpet, and instead of cutting it into pieces, I ended up calling around, because it was a nice piece of carpet. The guy just bought this house, and so he doesn't like carpet, and so he just wanted it gone and laminate put in instead. And so, I made some phone calls, and I got somebody picking that up tomorrow. I kept it all in one piece, and it's heavy, like super heavy, and hopefully they don't want to have me help load it, as I was able to drag it into the next room. And so I end up taking a lot more time than I thought, because the tack strips for that carpet, they had nails in it, like, I don't know, super long for some reason, and it was just a bitch to get it up. And like at the same time, it was just really time consuming. And I was hoping to get some of the flooring laid down today. Didn't even get the underlayment tacked down, so I'm somewhat behind, but not really stressing about it, because now that the carpet has a solution. I got maybe something in the hopper. Hopefully that guy ends up getting in touch with me. He took my business card. He's got my number. And so, I got about, so what is today? Today's Tuesday. The weather is supposed to be shitty again tomorrow, which gives me another day to work on this flooring. Hopefully can finish it tomorrow, because it's not that hard of a flooring job. It's almost just a straight rectangle, like rectangular room, and so it should go together pretty fast. But so far it's just been kind of a sketchy start, but it's okay, because a lot of times the first day on starting something new. And then he had me quote, which I haven't, he got him the numbers for it. Basically have to make a custom, he's got this cabinet, and there's no space in the kitchen for like the refrigerator sit anywhere out of the way. Like, it's right in the middle of everything. And so he wants me to cut out a cabinet and cut into a countertop area to recess the refrigerator. And then upstairs in the bathroom, where I'm changing out the toilet, changing out the vanity, he wants me to build him, basically, there's only a bathtub up there, and it's like this really strange bathtub. It's like pink, and it almost looks like a hot tub, kind of. It's just a square, and it's got multiple levels in it. And I told him, finding something that would fit in that spot might be a pain in the ass. And so he's looking he's looking at some options of like maybe like resurfacing it or whatever. I told him I painted a bathtub that was flaking with this Rust-Oleum tub and tile shit, and I've never used it before, and like that was just recently in the past like month, and it stunk real bad, and like using it, really strong chemical smell, and I have no idea how long that's going to hold up, but we'll see. I told him that maybe is an option, but if you could find somebody who actually knows what they're doing when it comes to like redoing a bathtub like that, that'd probably be the best option. But he wants me to then build a wall, because there's no shower. Wow, it sounds like my dog just spilled a bunch of water on the floor. But like so build like for a shower, and so it's just turning into an ordeal. Then he wants me to put an antenna on the roof for TV, and then he's got super tall gutters that you can see the nails sticking out like that far. He wants me to get up on the roof and pound them back in, which I haven't quoted him on that yet. But it just all of these things are starting to, I got multiple jobs in the hopper, and it's like if I don't get any help, which I'm not stressing about that, because the alternative is I just make all the money, and I just have to work a lot, so it's not that big of a deal. Although, I'd like to scale, and I'd like to do these different things. And so, in showing others, some of them, maybe the challenges or whatever, that's like the main thing is still getting help. That's priority number one. But then, not to get overwhelmed with I had to turn a job down yesterday because I'm booked out so far, and it was like a really simple job too. And I feel bad for the lady because like it was for her her mom or something is renovating their house, and they got a bunch of antiques and like heavy furniture that needs moved from one side of the house to the other side of the house for the renovation. And for some reason, the guys that are renovating wouldn't do it. And so they're just calling around. They ended up calling me, asking if I could help them. I was like, honestly, I not much I can do. Normally I would say yes, it's just they needed it done like that same day or something. It's just like, oh well, they're getting ready to renovate this area, and it's in the next day or two. Can you come in here like ASAP, like yesterday, and move this shit around? It's like, Yeah, I wish I could, and yeah, but it's just taking the tangible steps. What's manifesting right now in the present, and not to get overwhelmed. Be able to stay in flow and at ease and at peace, and not to let the worries and concerns of like the ego mind kind of start to creep in and start reacting instead of creating, instead of acting. With maybe inspired action. I think it's all part of it. How you're able to take each problem, little troubleshooting thing that happens today, and address it and keep marching forward. And it's like going to tomorrow end up continuing to get that checklist done. I'm hoping. Let's see. So tomorrow's Wednesday, and so it's still now, but but tomorrow's Wednesday. Thursday the weather's supposed to start to get 50ish, and so I might be able to push that painting job off till Friday if the weather's not going to be warm enough to paint. I might be able to at least get half a day to get the flooring done, because I keep getting stuff added to his checklist. So it's like, oh, by the time you get the flooring done, can you put the quarter round down? Can you put this tack strip, or can you put the strip in and everything? It's like, yeah, okay, yeah. and now it's like, okay, the big bulky things, we still need to get the door. The vanity, I guess, is not coming in till the first week of May. So if I can just get the floor in this living room done by Wednesday, tomorrow, if not part of Thursday, then I can start wrapping the windows and prepping this building to paint on Friday. I should be able to spray it in a day. Typically when I use my paint sprayer, which the pressure release valve is not working correctly, and so I'm going to have to rig that so that works, so I have pressure. What I had to do last time, because last time I used it, I painted ceilings black and kind of like a outdoor, it was like a garage barn office setup or whatever, and I just had to paint the ceiling joists and everything just black, and and I ended up using some washers, and I ended up cutting some thick rubber and just threw it in there and just bolted it back together, and it was good enough to do that job. And I haven't messed with it because I thought, I'll have plenty of time to order a pressure release valve, and then now here's this. So I think I'm going to end up kind of rigging something, just I'm thinking about getting like a hole saw or something and just drilling. I got a bunch of Luan in my garage, and so I'm going to just cut a little circle, with the hole saw or whatever, and then a washer to reinforce it, because what would happen was there's so much pressure in the paint sprayer that with the washer, that rubber piece would suck through the center of the washer, and then it would start then it lose pressure and start leaking and shit. And so I think if I cut the wood and then then put the washer and then the pressure release valve and screw it back in, it should hold it strong enough that I'll be able to do that. And so that's the next things on the agenda, and that's like a $700 painting job. So and then at the end of it today, my wife, she ended up working for a customer out of the blue. She wasn't planned on working today. She normally cleans their house on Friday, and then my stepdaughter worked for that same customer today too, because they just needed a quick job. So I think that put so I got like $900 or $925 minus I had to buy the tapping block and what do you call it, the other thing to put the laminate flooring, a little kit or whatever, and some spacers and stuff to get the floor put in. And then but then I think my stepdaughter made $60. I think my wife then made another 75 or something. So let me do the math real quick. And this is something I'm going to try to get better at for you guys, so you guys can see the numbers, because I find that kind of interesting, where you see the money coming in and the profit and stuff, and like on Storage Wars or something, so it's like, let's just do 900 plus 60 plus 75. So it was like $1,000 day for the business, which is good. Um, yeah, I still got to pay the electric bill, which is like close to $500, which I should do that now. I mean, I kind of want to wait till I get the flooring put in, um, just because then I'm not tapping into money that I haven't done the job yet, and so I kind of like to just squirrel the money to the side till the job's done, just in case there's an issue, But like, yeah, that'll be paid the next day or two. Yeah, before the start of the paint job at least, and then yeah, and then continue to be in the black then the rest of the month, which is pretty good news because I have a couple. So everything will be done and paid for this week. I should be. This is all just doing mental math. Sorry, it's not like accurate. I'd like to have it on the screen like they do in the shows or whatever. But like, yeah. And so is that 5, 7? Is that $1,200? And then 2,000. I got $2,000 worth of stuff going on next week, and so what's that? Like $3,000 profit for the month, which I can use then to for the cafe, which I'm really taking the hands-off approach to that, and just really let my wife really let her imagination run wild. I'm really kind of just focusing on the financing it, not really financing, but just getting the cash flow for that. That's kind of just my piece to that puzzle. But as far as like the menus and all the nuts and bolts of everything else, I mean that's really more her thing for now. And I trust that she'll be able to do it. It's really not that the biggest thing with running a business is just having the courage just to go for it. Then it's a lot of just little dramas and little things that come up that kind of present themselves. But as you hold strong to your faith that God provides the customers, God provides the opportunities, it's like you're just stewarding what you got, and really getting out of the mindset of like, oh, being like the next Walmart or something. It's just like I just be one step at a time. It's like what can we do today to create a good energy for everybody involved, including the town, including the customers and people working, doing jobs, everything. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that to you guys' attention, continuing that kind of a flow of just taking action steps, and not to because it's the same kind of dramas that start to happen. It's like, oh well, how am I going to get that vanity upstairs? You start worrying about how you're going to do all these things and how things are going to work out, but it's like you're going to spend your entire time running a business just up in your mind, just freaking out about every little thing. Instead of enjoying the flow. It's not that hard. It's just we'll figure it out. Just what can we do to get closer to completing the job right now? It's like same flow. What now? What's hitting the radar now? Is there anything I can do about it? And if not, I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let God. I'm gonna let that be God's problem, not my problem. My problem is just showing up and doing a good job that the customer's happy with. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys, give a quick little update, kind of the progress and kind of the flow of now's go time getting these jobs done. If you guys I don't know if you want to see my handyman website or whatever, or if it's better just to put pictures. I might just put pictures or whatever. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but once I get this flooring job done, maybe I can do let's see if I can do this real quick, because I wasn't prepared, I guess. And so I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, that's the room. That's down to once I got the carpet up and everything. I don't know if you can see that well. Let's see another picture. Yeah, so that's a better one. Yeah, so you kind of see the scale of the room. It's pretty much just a square except for those baseboard heaters. And so it's not that, there's just a bunch of stupid ass staples and shit that had to come up with the pad that was stapled down somebody was a cowboy just just putting a bunch of unnecessary amount of staples, and then like I said, nails super long into these tack strips that was just normally you can just get the tack strip 10 minutes, just pop it up, 10 minutes at most per side, maybe, couple, not a huge ordeal, but I was doing that for like 2 hours trying to get this shit up, and it was just frustrating, and, getting all the staples out and everything. It was just, a good start to the day, but, at least, got a lead on maybe a new customer, or not a customer, a new helper. We'll see. I got got all my plants covered because it's snowing, but then, plus get some payday going on, and some good sales day, I guess. But like just want to share that with you guys, and other than that, I'd probably just be done stammering around here. And so appreciate you guys liking, sharing, subscribing. Appreciate your attention and your time for this long. I appreciate your support in the physical and in the spiritual. With that being said, thanks for listening, and have a good rest of your now, and God bless.